Just in terms of an introduction from me, because I'm the chair and I can take the liberty, FM and sustainability, I've been in FM for 50 years. And I can't remember how many dozens of conferences I've been to about FM and sustainability, FM and the environment, etc. over the years. The title the guys gave it this time round was the Social, Environmental and Commercial Challenge. And it's interesting thinking about those three things, because I remember way back when kind of feels like this stuff started, we talked a lot about people, planet and profit. And that's really what the social, environmental and commercial thing is all about. We know that as facilities people, built environment, we have a unique position when it comes to protection of the planet. We have a massive impact. The built environment has a huge impact upon the use of natural resources. We're responsible, I don't mean responsible, but I don't mean as in to blame, but we're responsible for emissions, we're responsible for waste, we're responsible for pollution of all kinds, we're in charge of travel budgets. We, facilities people, really absolutely have to get this stuff and get it right. And in my long career, if I go back to, early 80s, we had a few sandal-wearing, yogurt-weaving tree huggers who insisted on us using recycled paper and so on. And it was very fringe. And we've watched it become mainstream. And when it started to really become mainstream, I predicted this is the real opportunity for FM to get into the boardroom, because these are issues that boards are concerned about. These are issues that boards are worried about. And who have they got? And they were actually looking around thinking, who on earth can we give this to? And the FM was there all the time dealing with all of this stuff. So we as a community, both the profession and the industry, clearly have a major place to play when it comes to the planet. And we've got speakers today who are going to cover some of that. Society too. In the UK alone, 3.5 million people work in the FM industry in service roles. Most of those are from ethnic minorities. They're from the lower classes, like what I am. There are more people on minimum wage in our industry than in any other industry. So we have a huge impact on that 3.5 million people and their families. That's 10 million people probably that we affect with our management decisions. And we have a real responsibility to them. And that's without thinking about the tens of millions of people who occupy and consume, occupy our buildings and consume our services in hospitals, prisons, shopping centres, universities, etc., etc., etc. COVID proved that non-core doesn't mean non-essential. We are essential workers. Our cleaners were essential workers. So we have this huge responsibility for the society bit. And I almost feel, that in some instances, we've got a bigger role to play there than we have on the environmental side. And we need to remember that and make more of it, I think. I don't think we've done enough. And I hope other speakers today are going to agree with me on that. And then finally, this issue of profit and the commercial challenge. Naively, I used to say in one of my regular speeches that, come on guys, environmentally friendly has got to cost less, not more. Why are you charging a premium for environmentally friendly? It means you buy less stuff, you use it more and you don't throw it away. And you use less energy, etc., etc. But it's the cost of change. And I think we've seen in our market that the question over who pays for the cost of change has been a difficult one for us. There are clients who expect, well, you said you were a green and sustainable service provider, therefore you ought to have all this stuff already. Why are you asking me to pay for it, to pay extra for you to invest in green stuff that your website says you believe in already? But then equally, service providers, why are you working for customers who insist on you paying the minimum wage when you know that the living wage is the right thing? If you actually believe in your principles and your values and your morals, shouldn't you be refusing to work for those customers? Which is interesting when one of the biggest one of those is the government, but we'll go there in another conversation. So this commercial bit, I don't think we've got that right. There's lots of great stuff happening on Planet and People, but the commercial bit, I don't think we've got that quite right, and it's going to be interesting to see how that comes out in the conversations. As always, Elliot has put together a fantastic program of speakers, experts from all different aspects of the same question. I hope you're going to enjoy them as much as I am, and I will now shut up and get on with introducing the first of them.